right, good morning and welcome to The Big Story, your authoritative platform for deep national conversations and informed perspectives. Today we revisit one of Nigeria's most heated political arguments, an issue that dominated headlines, shaped alliances, divided opinions, and continues to spark debates 2 years into this administration. Our focus this morning is the Muslim presidency debate, marginalization or misperception. 2 years after President Bola Ahmed Tinubu and Vice President Kashim Shettima assumed office on a joint Muslim ticket, has the fear of marginalization become a reality? Or has the uproar a product of political suspicion, emotional tension, and misinterpretation of democratic choices? Let's explore the past and, of course, assess the present and weigh the implications for Nigeria's future. The road to Nigeria's first Muslim presidential ticket in nearly 3 decades was anything but smooth. In 2022, after the APC presidential primaries produced Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu as candidate, the search for a running mate quickly transformed into a national debate. Ethnic balancing, religious sensitivity, political strategy, and electoral mathematics all collided, with the North seen as a key battleground. The APC leadership considered competence, popularity, and voting strength, and eventually settled on Kashim Shettima, a senator, a 2-term governor from Borno State, also a Muslim. This decision instantly ignited controversy across the country. Religious bodies such as the Christian Association of Nigeria, CAN, expressed deep concern, warning that the choice undermined Nigeria's delicate religious balancing. Influential voices including Bishop Matthew Kuka, Dr. Akim Baba Ahmed, Femi Fani-Kayode initially, and General Ishola Williams, retired, several other people, civil society groups raised alarms about potential exclusion of Christians in governance. Some saw it as a political insensitivity. Others viewed it as an electoral calculation taken too far. There were protests, televised debates, and a wave of opinions, articles predicting tension, distrust, and national fragmentation. Yet, there were also supporters who defended the ticket. Some defended it with their lives, arguing that competence should outweigh religious identity, that Tinubu, though Muslim, had governed Lagos with religious diversity, and that Nigeria needed capacity over sentiment. Yes, that statement is actually true. In a challenging economic and security climate, fast forward to 2 years into administration, where do we stand today? Has the Muslim presidency validated earlier fears of marginalization? Have appointments and policy directions reflected inclusivity or reinforced division? Are Nigerians more concerned about religious balance or about livelihood, economy, and security? Of course, more importantly, has perception overshadowed reality or vice versa? Today we peel back the layers of politics, sentiments, and governance to answer the lingering question: is the debate about genuine marginalization or misperception shaped by Nigeria's complex diversities? Thank you for joining us on The Big Story this morning. I won't be doing this alone. I have a seasoned public affairs analyst, a comrade at that, Comrade Ademola Aremu. She's with me in the studio this morning and we'll be making sense of this particular topic. Good to have you in the studio.
It's so good to be with you this morning. Good morning.
All right, as some would love to call you Comrade Katie.
Yes.
I'll be going by Katie on the show this
Yes,
morning.
okay.
Comrade Oluwakemi Ademola Aremu. Now, let's talk about Muslim tickets. After 2 years of this administration, judging by what happened before and now, and then we'll talk about the future, how exactly has it panned out for the Nigerian people?
I put it to you, Nigeria definitely is a nation of diverse mosaic, which should have really made a very beautiful art piece. Unfortunately, we choose to throw sentiments up there because the average Nigerian is not capable of, I'll say, critical reasoning. These are things that should be taught in a multicultural society, in a diversity, intense diversity, and because, of course, lack, okay, and inequality in the society. So ethnicity, religiosity will come to play. Over time, it's never been of a border. Yeah. If you've ever, many of my friends are Muslims, and they're fantastic guys. You see, if you were in the north, almost everybody would be Muslim. So it's never really the problem. The policy is neutral, should be neutral. Unfortunately, the Nigerian constitution has a way of not really balancing issues. So people were scared. But you discover that.
Comrade Katie, please hold your thought a little bit. We'll be back. Let's go on a quick break. And when we return, the show continues. This is The Big Story. We'll be back. All right, welcome back from that short break. The show is still there, break live on Dominion Television, your channel of choice, where inspiration meets entertainment. And of course, this is The Big Story. I still have with me in the studio this morning, Comrade Oluwakemi Ademola Aremu, with whom we'll be making sense of the Muslim presidency tickets in the country. All right, when the news of the Muslim ticket broke, and as it stands right now, how does it feel for the Nigerian people?
No, where there's no knowledge and where we don't have facts or access to facts, people will be afraid of the unknown.
Okay.
So the unknown is fearful to anybody because you're going to walk into the dark. But as it plays out, it has never been religion in Nigeria, I put it to you. The essence of religion is to shape values. Okay. It means we're assuming if you thought that someday you'll be accountable to somebody somewhere and you think your eternal future is dependent on that accountability, you would modify behavior. But that is not what we've seen in Nigeria. It's never a religious war. It's really a class war. I put it to you. Anybody that is evil is of the devil. Anybody that is good is of God. And it's not restricted to anything. And I keep saying it. Even traditional African religion is monotheistic. It's not polytheistic. They believed in the process of reaching the supreme being, who is the creator of everybody and has made all men equal and given us all equal rights. So the behavior of the political class of Nigeria does not show anything like the fear of God. So irrespective of what they claim to be, because God loves the poor, takes care of the poor, justice means equity, peace means development. All their activities, summation, has it led to development of Nigerian polity? No. But they keep using those tools as instruments of distraction for the people. They throw up 3 terrible human beings at any one time or 2. Then you have to start bothering yourself about who do I choose of the crazy, they're not throwing up the best. So that's what we're saying. The society, when it throws up the best, you don't care what they do in their bedroom praying. What's your business with that? Really, we just want competent people. If there are security issues, you bring people that's savvy in military strategy. The highest form of training goes for the military, believe it. Because a military man is taking that role, and of course, within the limits, is taking that role at the cost of life. It is a way of life. It is the discipline of the mind, the body, to think outside the norm. It's to keep maintaining a mean while your mind is able to focus on things that are not within your view. It's a very strategic training. So a situation where you now choose people that have nothing in their heart about protection, people that have nothing in their heart and capacity in defense, and you now just put anybody anywhere. So it is never about the religion that the man practices, because how do they even have time to practice any religion? Ask yourself, do these people look like people that understand who God is? No, so it's never the Muslim ticket.
If it wasn't about religion, so what was the reason for the intensity of the backlash when the Muslim ticket was announced?
It would be because over time, people would have noticed that because of the scarcity, Nigeria is not really a very rich nation. It's potentially rich.
Okay.
But when you look at the gross domestic product, it is poor because too many people in the society are not positively engaged, and the ones that are even engaged are not positively remunerated, and we have fictitious pricing in the nation. So if a nation is very wealthy, it will mean that every individual is positively engaged, contributing. So the ones that are criminal or that's not so able within the system will benefit from the excess profit of the people that are in place.
Okay, now let's go back in history a little bit. In the year 1993, you were an active participant in what happened at the time.
Yes.
Nigeria once had Muslim ticket, and that was MKO Abiola and
Yes.
Babangana Kingibe, one from the south and the other from the north. And there was no backlash at the time. Even if there were, it was so little that people had forgotten about it.
Yeah.
So what's the difference between then and now? Have we matured into the country that is sensitive about religion, or we have gotten worse that religion is now a tool?
No, there was a precedent, General Muhammad Buhari. he single-handedly set fire to this nation. More than anybody had ever done, obviously. You know, nepotism started sometimes back. Even now, you have a situation where the governor is not and the wife is going to be representing. On what platform? Nigeria does not have a place for the first lady. Okay?
She's supposed to be constitutionally enshrined.
Yes, she's supposed to be in a ceremonial post, a hostess, because definitely the husband has a function. Okay? That is what it's supposed to be. Over time, you now had the office of first son, foolish daughter. Yeah, I will not put it first daughter. The reason I'm saying it is this. Even if your father had some issues, you, the child, you know to step back. Nepotism does a terrible thing to the nation. But under General Muhammadu Buhari, it was too obvious. In fact, all the wives needed the first daughters and first sons to be occupying positions. And I remember the show of shame at the Aso Rock when they had to go and be shooting gun. You see, so Nigerians should please understand, it is our duty as a nation to remain secular, to not be sentimental. When you go to the hospital, you don't check whether your doctor is a Christian or a Muslim. You might tend to go for the private doctor that leans towards your faith because you want a mix of maybe your physical health, your mental health, and your spiritual space taken care. So that is specialized. But when you go to a public space, you don't start asking, hey, doctor, are you Muslim or Christian? And when you have a lecturer in class or a teacher, you'll be asking if they're Muslim or Christian. What you want is knowledge. So let's be focused on the issues. The issue of insecurity, because, like I mentioned, I'm still waiting for the day when somebody bold enough will remove all the GSON behind General Muhammad's name. Because it did funny. You know, it single-handedly sensitized us, and it's almost going to lead to almost an extinction of his tribe. Now, why? We know I was Secretary of Women in Nigeria, so I know Nigeria very well, and I enjoyed Nigeria. I'm telling you, if you were traveling long distance and your vehicle broke down in any village, you don't even ask, where have you crossed to? You don't care, okay? If it's in Kenya, you greet people there. They even say, oh, you're welcome, you know. They take care of you, give you water. Africans are good. Nigerians are very good. I love Nigeria.
So how much damage has religion done to the Nigerian people?
No, nothing. Nigerians have gotten over that rubbish. I'm telling you, the average Nigerian knows now that being a pastor does not mean you are really worshiping Jehovah. You can be worshiping something else, okay? And I have to put this right. In the spiritual realm, there are only two extremes, white or black. It's either you're for good or for evil. So don't confuse yourself. If the person says, you see, the cloak does not make the monk. Okay, so somebody can tell you, I'm a Christian, meaning you are, that person is actually tampering with your decision-making process. He wants you to assume that because he has pronounced Christianity is like Christ. No, it's not necessarily so. And you've seen it demonstrated in their behavior. All the political class does at any time is to maintain power. Understand, power is used for control or service. So if they are controlling you, deal with the issues. Nigerians, deal with the issues. Human beings, deal with the issues. Humanity first. If you embezzle money, you're a thief. You belong to the devil. He's a thief. If you're a liar, you're a liar. And if you are cowardly, you also belong to them. You are one of the reasons injustice is walking on our street. If you do not speak out, you do not stand for the poor, you do not help the poor, you are of the devil. There's no deception about it. God is clear. God is the creator of every human being. Even if you're atheistic, you're thinking, I don't believe in God. They are saying, I don't believe in theocracy. Theocracy has been an instrument of oppression for life. And it's still happening. So let's get it right. And I say people have a right to hell. Let's get that right, yes. Right to hell. So nobody should say they are sacrificing another human being because of a God. No. The maker of heaven and earth could have made all of us of one religion. But he made all of us of one blood. One Adam, one Eve, one source. But somehow, instrumentation of division, of power over time has made people to start hating one another. So if there's hatred in your heart, you are not human. You have a demon. Demon means the engine within your spirit that is motivating you, mobilizing you, is feeding on human blood. You are not correct. So irrespective of what you claim. So if you're a traditional medical practitioner, which has a lot to do with accountability too, you see them say, look, I have to be careful because I must not shed innocent blood. So let's get it clear. There is nothing about ambiguity about this stuff. If you're not godly, you're not fair, you're not just, you don't help, you are of the devil. If you embezzle money, promote your wife unduly, your children are safe somewhere and you want to recruit other people's children to go and die in Sambisa forest, you're of the devil. So it is never the religion. Is that what is the practice of these people? What instrument of law are they using? However, I must say that certain leniencies and variations within the religion already socialize you. They are socialization policies. They already socialize you towards hatred for people. And they tell you, look, that person is your problem. And I keep saying it's a 5-tribal world. The first tribe says, the world stinks, you are my problem. It is because of you I cannot go to school. It's because of you I don't have what I should have. So those people are murderers. Then another tribe says, and it's human, that's what I say, human tribe. The second tribe says, oh, my life sucks. Let me pursue more business. Let me take care of myself. Let me go to school. Let me venture. Let me try. You see? And people say, let's support you. That's second tribe. Third tribe says, no, we are the big people. We're professional. We don't need anybody. That goes for all this, what will I call them? Low, middle class. I'm a doctor. I don't need a lawyer. We are lawyers. Trouble in my business. You see it on their cars. It's not shameful. You know, we fight only for ourselves. Those tribes, irrespective of where they are still in competition. They are not secured. Those ones are the third tribe. They bring a lot of divisive activities, okay? This one is a maid in my house, therefore I can rape. Can you imagine such behavior? Then the fourth tribe says, oh, no, I'm a lawyer, I need a doctor when I'm sick. And we begin to respect professionalism. I need an accountant, I need a journalist, I need a media expert. We begin to respect people in their chosen field of service to humanity. Then the fifth tribe says, well, I think I have enough, I'm content. Who can I give to? What can I give? Now, irrespective of the age, time, climb, feelings, emotions, people can serve from day 2. After they are born, you see a baby, one that bites everybody, you know, it's possible. Even with their gum, toothless gum, they'll be very aggressive. You see some that just smile, make it easy for you. Oh, you're even wet, you know, and there's one that harass. Okay, so there are personality differences amongst people. No personality is really bad, but the people should be clear on what we're talking about. For me, I've had occasion to live in the north. If you're going to have trouble, let your HOD be a southerner and a Christian. You will see the meaning of trouble. Yes, because of attitude. And if you're going to have peace, you know, another thing about this mosaic called Nigeria is that if you've not traveled around Nigeria, you never understand Nigeria. You don't understand the country. You will never. For example, if you say Muslims are killing Christians or whatever, I say, please don't talk if you're in southwestern Nigeria. Why? Because all around you all the time is a diversity and a security. But if you were a Christian living in the north, you have another cough coming up. So that is it. So if you were in the east now, and you're talking about the ability of entrepreneurship, it's so easy for you to register business and start in your small corner because your system has worked on economics. You have support easily. You lose the money, they bring more, you know, because they've perfected that way. Then if you come to the West, going to school is like drinking milk because even my grandma went to school. So what am I saying? The beauty should be our strength. I should be able to, yes, because for me, I can make ekpa and koko. Yes, it's one food from Akwa Ibom. I love it so much, you know. And one day I saw one guy, so I wanted benetete. I said, we have it in our garden, okay? That goes for my ability to make banga. I'm comfortable with Nigeria, okay? I know exactly what I want from Benin. I want the door. You know, when I want wood, I want Benin wood, you know. So I know Nigeria, you know. So I'm simply saying that every other young person, though right now I'm not able to go around Nigeria, I'm afraid to. So right now, I'm asking for all Nigerians to have a taste of every tribe, okay? Because that is where our strength is. No, you can never have it all. That was why I mentioned that third tribe that says, I'm a doctor, I don't need a lawyer, and look down on a teacher. No. The fourth tribe says, I need you. I need every Nigerian. So your religion should be private, and that is why the federal government of Nigeria should stop sponsoring pilgrimages. Please, your pilgrimage is your journey of faith. It is your...
No, it should not be paid for with the taxpayers' money.
You cannot spend 10 million of everybody's money on what? When you cannot even give 10 million to each family to do business. Let it even be that if federal government is so interested in giving money, give the family, let them use the money for 1 year. Then the profit of the next season, they should use it to sponsor 2 people to go. You'll be shocked how they won't want to do that.
Okay. Let's talk about people who have actually had their take on the Muslim ticket in time past. That was Bishop Azan Matthew Kuka, also one of those who made a huge statement about it. Femi Fani-Kayode, for example, who has now been nominated to become an ambassador. And then you look at Bishop Matthew Kuka also. In 2025, President Tinubu appointed Matthew Kuka as the Pro-Chancellor and Chairman of the Governing Council of the newly converted Federal University of Applied Sciences, Kashia, in Kaduna State. Now, you see, most of them who at one point or the other said one thing or the other about the Muslim ticket, at the point, they stopped talking about it. And then everyone went about their businesses as usual. Now, is it that this administration has proven beyond reasonable doubt that governance should be superior to any other agitation? Is it why most of them are not saying anything about it?
No. There was this analogy I used to give my students. When they come to class, I tell them, you're privileged to be in the university. And I prove it to them. I say, if you consider your matriculation number and the oldest university in Nigeria, we have less than 20 million of the population that is educated. So there are no substitutes for these people. And that is why everybody should struggle to learn what they have to learn on time. So over time, you need to choose of the people that you are throwing up again. And that is why education must be compulsory and it must be free. Because some people are already cut off from it. So now, if you look at who are the possible heads, very few people really, for all the needs in Nigeria. So there's space for everybody. And believe it, these people meet every time. They meet every time. You cannot, like I mentioned earlier.
It's a circle.
It's not just the circle, it's the fact that there's scarcity of resources. If you want to count all the lawyers in Nigeria, there are not really as many as they should be for the population. If you check the policemen, there are not as many as they should be. So there's scarcity. What I can't understand is the dysfunctionality. A situation where you know that the people that are growing up, they should just be moving into space because the population is expanding that way. But no, some people that are so insecure think allowing another human being to read will rob them a housemaid. Some people think allowing other people to trade in business will reduce their value in the society. That is why the evil is a class war. It is civilian dictatorship versus the populace. It is the inability of the masses to think right. Get it? You have to become a player. Get on the field of play and don't be afraid. Don't be afraid and don't think. And that's the other dead terrible thing about Nigeria. The poor think if we gang up, we bring them down. You can't bring them down because the positions they are occupying are positions that are to be occupied by professionals, people that are trained to be global citizens.
Okay, now just before we go, let me ask you this question very quickly. Do you think going into the 2027 general election, Nigeria will still attempt the same fate ticket?
Well, it's not for me to predict that because right now you can see PDP is going its way. APC is going that way. I am looking forward to a situation where the INEC chairman will allow people to start voting from the councillorship. Not the presidential election first. If we can do that, you'll be surprised what will happen. At the end of the day, whoever emerge, people will now seek out who should be the running mates, who they should present, because it is now bottom up. Okay?
So, some have said that it should be an open discussion and, of course, an open election where Nigeria should go to a state where even vice presidents will have to contest their own position too and not be on the same ticket.
We can't afford it for now. It's a party state. So what we hope for eventually, that's what I'm saying, for what we have now, the best is for the new INEC chair to build his name into the sands of time. He should start from the community. That means we should have won. Thank God we're going community policing. That's one. Let it be so. Because now people will be assured my brother won't kill me. If he tries, he will go for his family member. It's very simple. Then we now go for the next level of it. The next level is that politics should also start from the grassroots. And the grassroots should be educated. What I mean by that is, it's not saying, oh, you just give me money, you vote. No. Understand the future of your children is dependent on the man that speaks for you. And that was why Christians were really concerned. They're thinking, if nobody is defending us and the Constitution is not defending us, so what happens? Kick religion out of our Constitution. I'm telling you, let human beings be human beings. Yes, let God be God, let people be people. And there's something about backsliding too. So those people that you think are on your side, they can just be Freemason cruising.
So what are we saying?
Very quickly, Comrade Katie, in just 15, 20 seconds, what should the government do to foster national cohesion and douse the lingering fears people have ahead of 2027 general elections?
Well, I don't think the civilian dictatorship governance and political structure can change anything. The people that we call to are mothers. When they kill people, it's our children. Men don't produce babies. Yes. So women should stand up, and I look forward to the day when we have a female political party. See what we do in Nigeria. Yes, 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 yes. Because our interest is humane. Our interest is human. No woman allows another child to be killed. Do you know what that means? When a child dies anywhere in Nigeria, I weep. When there's abduction, I weep. When there is insecurity. Look, what is it? If a child fails, even if it's not your child, you have that pain because we birth babies. So women, rise up and defend the lives of the men. Men are for protection and provision, but sometimes confused. So now, let the women rise up, defend our sons, our husbands, our children, safeguard the future. I look forward to that.
All right, thank you, Comrade Oluwakemi Ademola Aremu, for joining us on the show this morning. It has been an enlightening session with you, and we do hope to have you back on the show as soon as possible. All right, and that's where we wrap up today's edition of The Big Story. The debate over Muslim presidency may remain one of the most defining political conversations of our time. But what matters most is how Nigeria moves forward, whether in unity, understanding, or deeper polarization. A citizen's responsibility is to stay informed, hold leaders accountable, and continue demanding a government that reflects fairness, justice, and national cohesion, irrespective of religious identity. Samson Balogun is my name. Thank you for joining us. Keep the conversation going. Stay engaged. As always, stay tuned for more insightful discussions on The Big Story. Up next is Trend Watch. We'll be back after this time out.